Good evening, I'm Maham Tawa with the news-making headlines around the world. His Highness the Emir receives National Assembly Speaker accompanied by 5 newly elected MPs. National Assembly holds a closed-door session at the behest of the government to discuss the state's financial position. Israeli leaders urge calm after the discovery of a kidnapped Palestinian teenager's body sparks clashes in East Jerusalem. And fierce fighting continues on the second day since the Ukrainian government anti-terrorist operations resumed. In our first item, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received this morning at Sif Palace His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir also received National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem. His Highness the Emir then received His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister. And finally, His Highness the Emir received the First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received this morning at Sif Palace the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem, who introduced to His Highness the new members of the Parliament Ahmed Sulaiman Al-Qtaibi, Ahmed Al-Hajji Lari, Abdullah Yusuf Al-Mayuf, Faris Saad Al-Ataibi, and Mohammed Nasser Al-Rashidi, who won in the 2014 parliamentary by-elections. The meeting was attended by the Deputy Minister of the Emiri Diwan Affairs, Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al-Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received this morning at Sif Palace the National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem, who introduced to His Highness the new members of the Parliament Ahmed Sulaiman Al-Qtaibi, Ahmed Al-Hajji Lari, Abdullah Yusuf Al-Mayuf, Faris Saad Al-Ataibi, and Mohammed Nasser Al-Rashidi, who won in the 2014 parliamentary by-elections. His Highness the Crown Prince congratulated the new MPs and wished them all the best of luck in executing their duties and serving their country. His Highness the Crown Prince also received His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister. His Highness the Crown Prince then received the First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince later received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior and Acting Minister of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs Sheikh Mohammed Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense Sheikh Khalid Al-Jarrah Al-Sabah. Finally, His Highness the Crown Prince received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Commerce and Industry and Acting Minister of Education and Higher Education Abdel Mohsen Midaj Al-Midaj. The following statement was issued by the Amiri Diwan. The Amiri Diwan expresses deep thanks and appreciation to the citizens and the expatriates who offered their felicitations on the advent of the holy month of Ramadan to His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmad Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, and the Honorable Al-Sabah family. The Amiri Diwan also wished to express its congratulations on this occasion, praying for many happy returns as our beloved country and people live in peace and prosperity. May God keep Kuwait and its people safe from any evil and bless them all with peace and security under the prudent leadership of His Highness the Emir and His Highness the Crown Prince. Many happy returns for all. The National Assembly held a special supplementary session today under the chairmanship of Parliament Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem. MPs referred to the government for approval its estimation of the budgets for a number of government ministries and agencies for the fiscal year 2014-2015. Moreover, the Assembly held a closed-door session at the behest of the government in order to discuss the state's financial position up until March the 31st of 2014. Sarah Periscope has more on the session in this report.
The National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al-Ghanem turned today's special supplementary session into a closed-door one, following the request of the Minister of Finance Anas Al-Saleh in order to conduct a detailed presentation on the state's financial position. The National Assembly also continued discussions on a number of reports by the Parliament's Budgets and Final Accounts Committee regarding the bill to approve the budgets of 5 independent institutions and 10 associated institutions for the fiscal year 2014-2015 and referred the reports to the government for further approval.
Well, today we are toward the ending of this session. And we hope that we reach our goals. And personally, I feel that we are we did our best, and this is one of the best sessions that ever happened in Kuwait National Assembly. And today we discussed the budgets of several institutions and also agencies in Kuwait. Most of them, we reached the agreement of passing the budgets, and also we hope that some of the questions that regarding specific of the agencies that can be going to the Diwan al-Muhasaba, what we call it. And we hope that also all the members of the parliaments can achieve their goals by having the answers of their inquiries and the questions from specific individuals and also officials in the government.
On the other hand, the Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs and Acting Minister of Justice Sheikh Mohammed Al-Abdallah Al-Mubarak Al-Sabah described as incorrect the rumors that have been circulated by some social media outlets indicating that questions on the academic exams for the year 2013-2014 were leaked. During the session, the Minister of Information and Minister of State for Youth Affairs, Sheikh Salman Sabah Al-Salam Al-Hamoud Al-Sabah, also announced that the Public Authority for Youth and Sports is building Jaber Al-Ahmad Sports School, which will contain an Olympic village and a football stadium. He announced that the project is expected to be completed by the year 2018. This is the National Assembly's second special supplementary session within 2 days, with another one expected for tomorrow before they break for the parliamentary recess.
Tomorrow it's toward the ending, and there is nothing we can discuss tomorrow except that we discuss, some of the discussions regarding some of the remaining budgets, and also we hope that we can write the plan for the future, the next sessions, and clearly, and we discuss the priorities of that sessions, the upcoming sessions. And I would like to take this advantage and also to congratulate the Kuwaiti people and citizens of some of the achievements what we had this week regarding several issues, and we hope all of these can please and also make the happiness to our citizens in Kuwait and also to any civilians in Kuwait or any individuals in Kuwait.
Also during the session, the Deputy Premier, Minister of Commerce and Industry, and Acting Minister of Education and Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Abdul Mohsen Al Mudej, said the Ministry of Commerce and Industry owns lands allocated for industrial purposes in several parts of Kuwait. He also added that the ministry would not take any step unless it is approved by the Environment's official authority, the Environment Public Authority. During the National Assembly's supplementary session today, MPs approved a total of 15 budgets for both state and independent institutions and bodies. Then, following a request by the Minister of Finance, this session turned closed door in order to debate the state's financial situation. From the National Assembly building, this is Sarah Gleb reporting for English News.
His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain, and his accompanying delegation arrived in Kuwait today on a brief visit. He was received at Kuwait International Airport by His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mbarak Al Hamad Al Subah, the Prime Minister, Their Excellencies, the First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Subah Khalid Al Hamad Al Subah, the Deputy Minister of the Amiri Diwan Affairs Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al Subah, the Deputy Premier and Minister of Interior Sheikh Mohammed Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Subah, the Deputy Premier and Minister of Defense Sheikh Khalid Al Jarrah Al Subah, a number of sheikhs, ministers, governors and senior army, police and National Guard officers, in addition to senior officials at the Diwan of His Highness the Prime Minister and ambassadors of the two countries. In a statement upon his arrival, His Royal Highness Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain, said, "We seize this opportunity to offer felicitations on the holy month of Ramadan to His Highness the Emir Sheikh Subah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Subah, Emir of the State of Kuwait, and to convey to him and his honorable people greetings of the King, government and people of Bahrain, coupled with their best wishes for progress and prosperity under His Highness leadership." He added that this will be an opportunity to exchange views that will deepen the strong relations between the two governments, who are tied together by strong and unconsolidated bonds, so as to fulfill the aspirations of the two people. He expressed thanks to the State of Kuwait for its support for the Kingdom of Bahrain. His Royal Highness the Prime Minister of Bahrain added that the region in general was facing big challenges and huge risks as a result of the swift developments that are taking place in this part of the world. This situation calls on the leaders of the region to meet and consult constantly, because that will make any decision a unified one regarding how to deal with the various issues. He pointed out that the GCC countries were surrounded by troubles and conflicts which should be faced with close cooperation and wisdom, adding that he was confident that the leaders of the GCC and the awareness of its people would be able to protect it. As clashes between Palestinians and Israeli security forces continues today, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas accused extremist Jewish settlers of burning and killing a teenager and demanded Israel hold the killers accountable. Palestinian leaders said they held Israel responsible for the killing amid claims it was in revenge for the murder of 3 Israeli teenagers. Israel accused Hamas of abducting and killing the 3 teens and has arrested hundreds of its members across the West Bank. Earlier today, the house of an alleged Hamas operative was destroyed by Israeli forces in retribution for the killing of a police officer in April. In one of the final phases of the international effort to rid Syria of its chemical weapons stockpile, cargo containers carrying hundreds of tons of Syrian chemical weapons were loaded onto a U.S. cargo ship today for destruction at sea. The chemicals had crossed the Mediterranean aboard the Danish ship Arc Futura, which steamed into a southern Italian port where the U.S. cargo vessel was waiting to neutralize the chemicals. The resulting waste will then be disposed of on land in dumps equipped to handle hazardous materials. Iraq's Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki said today that an extremist group's declaration of an Islamic State poses a threat to the entire region, warning that no one in Iraq or any neighboring country will be safe from those plans. The Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or the ISIL, announced this week that it has unilaterally established a caliphate in the areas under its control. ISIL declared the group's leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi the head of its new self-styled state governed by Sharia law and demanded that all Muslims pledge allegiance to him. In his weekly address, al-Malki also condemned the Kurds' assertion of control over disputed areas in northern Iraq, accusing them of exploiting the security breakdown to pursue their long-held dreams of greater autonomy or outright statehood. Meanwhile, sporadic shelling damaged Turk's Tikrit's teaching hospital as well as nearby shops and a post office as Iraqi forces pushed to dislodge the militants from the town. And moving on to Afghanistan, where security officials said that a suicide bomber attacked an Air Force bus in the capital today, killing 8 military personnel and wounding another 13. The Taliban claimed responsibility for the attack that came as the country struggles through its first democratic transition of power, with one of the candidates in last month's presidential runoff alleging fraud. Abdullah, a former foreign minister and one of 2 candidates vying to succeed President Hamid Karzai, has warned the boycott the results of the 14th June balloting. Abdullah, who won the first round on the 5th of April by a wide margin, says supporters of his opponent, former Finance Minister Ashraf Ghani Ahmadzai, stuffed ballot boxes and tried to rig the vote. Ukrainian government forces carried out new attacks against pro-Russian separatists today, the second day after President Petro Poroshenko lifted a unilateral ceasefire. According to officials, at least 4 Ukrainian troops were killed as forces carried out over 100 attacks on rebel positions and cleared separatists from 3 villages, while hundreds of casualties have been counted on the part of the terrorists in the past day. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Angela Merkel said that she could not rule out further sanctions against Russia due to the situation in Ukraine. Following a meeting with NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen in Berlin, Merkel promised to keep looking for a diplomatic solution to the Ukrainian crisis. China urged the U.S. to stop commenting on Hong Kong after police arrested 511 people who refused to leave a street in the city's financial district earlier today. This came a day after thousands of people joined a massive march to demand democracy that's free from China's interference, an annual affair held on the anniversary of the day China took over Hong Kong from Britain on the 1st of June of 1997. The Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman said that Hong Kong's political development is an internal matter for Hong Kong and a domestic matter for China. And moving on to the local financial news, where the 3 main indices at Kuwait Stock Exchange ended the trading session with a positive performance as the price index gained 77 points to register at 7,026 points. The KSX 15 index also put on 25 points and settled at the level of 1,171 points. The share of Noor Financial Investment Company was the top gainer of the day, while that of Hayat Communication Company was the top decliner. Under the motto, "Your steps change their life," a healthy campaign was launched at the Hamra Tower with the aim of supporting cancer patients. The campaign continues during the holy month of Ramadan and is open to the public. Our correspondent Heba Abdurrahman was there and has this report.
With the aim of encouraging the healthy walking, especially during the holy month of Ramadan, the Steps campaign was recently launched by one of the local banks in Kuwait in collaboration with one of the youth groups that is entitled Project 5 Miles.
The aim is to be, we want to be part, the campaign is to what we call the Steps. And the Steps is really is to help the cancer patients, along with the Al Hayat Center, and those are the volunteer center, and it is the first time for us to do it, and we do it in Al Hamra, and the program is to come anytime between 4 and 6. Volunteers will receive you and give you the instruction what to do, but what we do, we really we pay a certain amount for each 5 rounds in the complex.
The campaign takes place at the Hamra Mall during weekdays and extends from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. during Ramadan. The idea behind this campaign is supporting the cancer patients through the Haya Center. The bank will pay 1 kd for every 5 rounds the participants would finish to the Haya Center that cares for the non-Kuwaiti patients. This campaign also is considered the first of its kind to take place through the cooperation with the youth group to assert its social role in the country and encouraging the public to take healthy procedures. Charitable and voluntary work is a very precious value that we have to teach it to the coming generations, but this campaign is more special because it's also healthy. From Al Hamra Mall, this is Heba Abdurrahman reporting for English News.
For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. Well, with that, we conclude our news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant time. I'm Maham Tawa. Before we go, we remind you once again of our main top stories. Have a pleasant time and good night. His Highness the Emir receives National Assembly Speaker accompanied by the 5 newly elected MPs. National Assembly holds a closed-door session at the behest of the government to discuss the state's financial position. Israeli leaders urge calm after the discovery of a kidnapped Palestinian teenager's body sparks clashes in East Jerusalem. And fierce fighting continues on the second day since the Ukrainian government anti-terrorist operations resumed.